All right, so here continue my recordings, and yeah, this is the end result of the trial that Tommy Lee, the artist, just basically the verdict was handled, and yeah, it's when you read that, try not to be disgusted. I mean, I'm not surprised, but disgusted nonetheless. So it says Tommy Lee gets 3 years, and yeah, this is a for gun and ammo charges. All right, so Tommy Lee Sparta's run-in with the law came to head yesterday, being Wednesday, when he pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 3 years in prison for illegal possession of firearm and 2 years for illegal possession of ammunition in the Gun Court Division of the Home Circuit, Kingston. He will, however, serve 3 years as sentences are to run concurrently. So he's supposed to get 15 years, but they just give him this joke sentence. So in battle DJ, that's what DJ's president Tom Tavares Finson. If you know him, this is a guy that represented Vibes Cartel during 10 years ago when the latter went to trial. Um, um, Even though the verdict was delivered, I'm sorry, delivered 2 years after Cartel went to trial. But Tom Tavares Finson is primarily remembered for. This is one of the most famous cases that Mr. Finson is definitely known for. So, and also Don Hugh Martin. Not familiar with that character as much, but I digress. So, Martin said that because NTA is guilty, plead guilty, receive a reduced sentence. Yeah, okay, whatever, man. Quote unquote, he pleaded guilty. Therefore, the judge had regards to sentencing guidelines, which are bullshit, of course. Judge had regards to the time he served in custody. The fact that he had no previous convictions until now. Yeah, okay. Whatever you want to say, man. The judge had regards he pleaded guilty on the first relevant date as entitled up to 50% discount on usual starting point. And this is where these bullshit laws in Jamaica are very telling. All right, so according to Martin, for firearm offenses, the sentences can range from 10 to 15 years. When a person pleads guilty on the first relevant date, the Criminal Justice Administration Amendment Act entitles a person up to 50% up on the range of the sentence. And yeah, this is such bullshit, but these are the laws we have in Jamaica. If I state consideration that it already served 3 months in custody as gainful employer contributing member of society, in what ways I do not know, but whatever. All right, so on December 14, 2020, last year, the entertainer whose given name is Leroy Russell, was arrested after a vehicle in which he was traveling was intercepted by members of the JCF. The man in the vehicle was searched, and a 9mm Glock pistol with extended magazine containing 18 rounds of ammo was found in the Ansel artist's waistband. And I'm guessing they didn't have any permits for any of these firearms, so that's pretty much what compounded the trouble they got in. Tom Lee is no stranger to brushes with the law. In 2014, he was arrested and charged for largely scam related offenses after police raided a house in the Kingston area believed to be occupied by the entertainer. A laptop belonging to the DJ was also seized as reportedly found with personal information of several United States residents. Which all right, and again, I'm not super proficient efficient with Jamaican law, but that is like a federal offense right there, because basically that means that if the U.S. wanted him, and if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. That means he could be serving a lot of time for that though, because America does not joke with the scamming thing though. All right, all right. He was freed 4 years later. Also in 2014, he was denied entry into the Dominica after during the Caribbean island to perform at a concert. The Dominica Association of Evangelist Church protested appearance. They have said the artist parents basically he was basically ungodly, promoted ungodliness, and he got deported the following day. In 2015, the Montego Bay Police prevented him from performing a burger summit for fear of patron safety. The following year, is a person interest by Titus in Kingston Eastern Division. So that notion that he had no prior previous arrests, when I think one of his lawyers said that, yeah, that shows that that statement is a blatant falsehood. But let's go. All right. At this time, it is in relation to a shooting incident on Saunders Avenue in the Kingston 2 section of the corporate area. In 2017, the Freeport Police Station in Montego Bay requested Tom Lee Spark to turn himself in question in relation to a shooting in the Flanco community during the Christmas season. It was cleared in both charges. All right. In March 2020, Tom Lee Spark's 6-year-old daughter shot during an altercation involving 3 men flanker. A 9-year-old boy was involved in that fish shot incident, and I hope those poor babies are okay. All right, so yeah, there's basically this goes on to list is social vibes cartel, which again is not really a glaring indication that he's an innocent angel, of course. But yeah, so basically we just got a joke sentence, and yeah, am I disgusted? Yeah, everybody who's a law-abiding citizen who's not a diehard sheep should be disgusted. I mean, his fans and supporters are basically, yeah, they're not happy that he has to serve time, of course, but they're basically saying justice has been done. Meanwhile, they're concerned in their empty heads. But the subject is not in so much Tom and Lee, but it's just like it just shows how much of a joke the Jamaican so-called justice system is, though, because this is basically the judge, basically, and I would not be surprised if the judge got bought off. Because a lot of these cases, people are saying that these judges are incompetent and cowardly. Many of them are, let's be honest, but a lot of the cases that a lot of them are corrupt, and a lot of them are bought out, though, because that there's when you have sentences like this, it just shows you that we have a protect we the criminals or alleged accused criminals are a protected class, that their rights matter more, they get more quote unquote justice as opposed to ordinary Jamaican civilians, though. I mean, if you are basically a non-contributor to society, and yeah, they can lose me that crap that, oh, this guy is a positive whatever they want to say to society. Yeah, yeah, you're basically treated like an asset. And yeah, many of these people, they see them as valuable assets that contribute to destabilizing and reducing the moral fabric of Jamaican society. And this is why I have to say with these judges that a lot of these judges need to get exposed and removed from these benches, because this is who the heir should be. Not so much Tommy Lee, because it's very clear that this guy has been, this guy is he has no halo on his head, so to speak, and we already know what the deal with Tommy Lee is. Like many other individuals who keep find themselves in trouble, but end of the day, people like that are seen have more rights in Jamaican society rather than ordinary Jamaican civilians, and that is meant to send a message that, hey, criminality goes hand in hand with what the so-called moral fabric of Jamaica is. Right? The so-called justice system, or the injustice system, as anybody would like to, with enough sense would say. Yeah, we basically see them as, hey, these people have more rights. We give them more opportunities and more chances, even though if they do egregious things. And yeah, I'm willing to bet that, however, like I've said in many cases, that let this Tommy Lee or any of his associates had harmed one of these judges' friends or family members, yeah, that person, he's not going to get 53 years. He's going to get way 30 years, if 30 years, and that's if he's lucky. But this is why I said though, that this so-called this is just a message to people that, yeah, the so-called justice system in Jamaica is basically a joke, and it's not even a funny joke at that. And the very frightening thing is that it's not incompetence or weak willness why they do give this bullshit sentence. Is they're deliberately just doing this to send a message to the rest of Jamaican society and saying, hey, we consider criminals who lawbreakers more valuable beings in society and rest of Jamaican society. And yeah, the supporters and enablers will, hey, we're okay with the status quo right here. Jamaican people are not like, you better not be satisfied with the status quo, because this anger should be at the so-called injustice system. Because, and many people again don't get lost in the notion that, hey, this was weak or cowardly on the judge's part. This is just sending a message to a lot of Jamaicans saying, hey, this is the okay, okay, we're all basically working on the same team, and that same team is the team of criminality and corruption, and we're going to maintain that hierarchy until enough Jamaicans have enough sense to try and destroy that hierarchy. And yeah, Jamaicans need to, with enough sense, need to try and say, okay, we want this so-called this fabric of wrongdoing and immorality to be torn apart. That's all I have to say about this recording. And this is not about Tommy Lee himself, is what he symbolizes. All right. The real problem is bigger than just Tommy Lee, is that so-called injustice system. And overall, the bigger problem is that culture and undercurrent of degeneracy and immorality too many Jamaicans like upholding, much to our detriment. So, this is for State of Jamaica and the Caribbean. Check out my YouTube pages, Real Thoughts of Miles, Miles G Productions, and Miles Goose and Fair. Peace out.